Let's have a look at something we can learn from other mammals, specifically elephants. So, predators out in the wild. So, the predators target the youngest and weakest members of the herd. So, they're going to separate them from the group to make them easier to catch. This tactic is common among predators, and the herd is supposed to provide safety through vigilance, collective vigilance, and defenses. So that means basically we're supposed to protect our young people and our old people because they're most vulnerable. Herds can protect their young from predators by using collective behavior such as forming a protective circle around vulnerable members and staying close together to deter attacks. This helps reduce the risk of individuals being targeted by young predators. Okay? So, we're in the year 2025. We have all this technology. We have all of this training and couch time and socialization for pet dogs, yet worse and worse and worse attacks on children and seniors. And children and seniors are the most targeted. For kids, it's particularly those age 1 to 5, with most attacks occurring, look at this, with familiar dogs during everyday activities. So we're not circling around our kids. We're not circling around our seniors. What do we do with dog culture? What do? We say dogs are better. I'm a fur mama. I'd rather have a dog than a kid. My dog is more well behaved than kids. Dog culture is a anti-human, anti-togetherness, anti-human contact culture. We take the predator and we put it right there in the house with our kids. Read any one of these articles right here. Go on YouTube and look at all the crazy dog attacks that keep happening. And we put ourselves with predators. We don't form that circle. So dog lovers could learn a lot from real animals, not those stupid dogs that they spoil. Like these bison, when they detect a threat and they got some young around, look at how they act. They're going to chase that predator off. But what do we do as humans? We put the child with the dog. We put the child right there. We tell the child, you better respect the dog. You better put your toys away. Children these days are born into families full of predators, aka dogs. Another thing about these dog attacks on the children, oftentimes it is in their own home. It's in their home. So, are you going to see like an elephant go out there and get a lion and bring it in next to their little elephants? And they're going to say, well, we walked by an elephant 2 weeks ago and it didn't kill our baby, so it's okay. Or they would say they walked by a lion and it didn't kill a baby that day, so it's okay. But that's the way dog owners act. Well, I've had a pit bull for 8 years and I haven't had any problems. Of course, most of them are lying. But they bring the dogs right into their home and they say, well, just give it treats, give it socialization, give it training, blah, 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 blah. Yet, all the billions of dollars that we've spent into breeding, crossbreeding, inbreeding, remarketing, spoiling, grooming, feeding these dogs, more and more of these attacks occur in more and more homes. It used to be that a dog was recognized as potentially dangerous and it would be out in a doghouse. Bowl of food, bowl of water. Dogs back then even lived to 10 or 12 years with minimal health problems. And today we take the dog, what do? We put it right in our freaking house. And where do most attacks occur? In the house or in areas common to the child, such as bus stops or daycare. Yeah, kids even get killed by dogs in daycare. Doggy daycare and also actual daycare. Yeah. So, elephants and dolphins. You guys need to start talking to elephants and dolphins, not dogs. People say, We could learn so much from dogs. Dogs know us better than we do. No, you need to learn from other animals. So how about elephants and dolphins? Because they're known for their strong social structures that prioritize safety and care of their offspring. What do dog lovers prioritize? Hell, they don't even prioritize themselves. They admit that they'll go broke for a dog. They admit that they'll allow their dog to bite them or bite some friends and family because whatever the dog needs, whatever the dog wants. Yeah. Mammal species herds work together to protect their young from predators and dangers. Well, humans need to start acting like animals again, or like mammals instead of like dog worshippers. So we're kind of focusing right now on like the attacks and the death from dog attacks. That's very valid. But some predators, like parasites, they don't kill their host. They instead consume their resources. So even though I'm talking about like dog attacks on kids, it's not just about that. It's just a simple thing of consuming the resources. When you consume the resources, it weakens you or leads to your host's death. Behavior is different from traditional predation where the predator kills and eats the prey. So dogs are predators that use our resources. They consume our resources. Dog owners will admit, I work hard for my dog. I don't have enough time for my dog. I gotta do more for my dog. I feel guilty. Oh, I went out and for dinner. I didn't get back home and my dog chewed up the couch, but he's just correcting me. You know, people are constantly dumping their resources, time, energy, money into dog ownership. And what they're doing is they're taking that away from their children. So dog ownership requires a significant investment of time, effort, money, food, shelter, veterinary care, blah, 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 money, 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 into this non tax paying freeloader. But look at this. This is meeting the needs of the dog. You see what I'm blue highlighting right here? They're meeting the needs of the dog. So, what about the needs of your young? What about that? Why don't our young people get prioritized? So, as an example, this is what I'm talking about. The needs of the children in the USA are not being fully met. We got 90 million at least pet dogs, plus all the police dogs, plus all the stray dogs, plus all the dogs in shelters, plus all the dogs that are part of foster situations, where you get money for fostering a dog, and then often those end up in hoarding situations, and those are also a huge drain on the taxpayer, and on and on and on. So we're meeting all the needs of being dog worshippers. We're allowing this predator parasite to suck away our time. Let me read that to everybody again. Some predators, like parasites, they don't kill their host, but instead consume their resources. Dogs consume our resources and they don't give anything back. So we need to learn from those dolphins and those bison because, just pick a topic that has to do with our kids. Emotional needs, missing kids all over the place, food problems. Pick any one of these, and it totally applies to my thesis right here. We live in this high-tech nation. We can't keep our kids fed. We can't keep our kids educated. But we sure as hell can give a shit ton of fucking resources to these lazy, worthless dogs. Excuse my language. So another thing that predators do, they influence the behavior of the prey. Dogs influence our behavior all the time. People will choose what political candidate to vote for because they do all these videos of them kissing up on dogs. It happened with Joe Biden. It's happened with many other people. What we do, what we spend money on, who we hang out with, who we put little heart likes on Facebook, who we trash talk. It all depends on what type of dog we own. Somebody doesn't like dogs, a dog lover will get into a heated argument, name calling with them. And that breaks us apart. That separates us. That's what the prey does. It separates us from each other. But also, sometimes causing them to group together, which can make it easier for the predators to hunt. Well, that's like the children in their homes. That's like all these attacks that happen like at bus stops or daycares or where there's lots of children together and they're playing and being loud. It's easy for a dog to run up and hurt the kid, bite the kid, steal the kid's food, and then people will blame the kid for not socializing the dog properly or not respecting the dog. It's like it says right here, driving the prey into a confined space. Yeah, people take their dog, put it up in an apartment with a bunch of other dogs. Then the dogs attack each other. The dogs attack a little kid. The dogs get access to our resources because they damage the property. Yeah, but guys, the predators can influence the behavior of prey. Yeah, your your dog owning parents that put more effort into the dog than you, they're being influenced by the prey. They're not circling up to protect you. They're opening the circle and bringing in a creature that has all types of access to everything that's supposed to be for you. So when we talk about the predator taking away the prey's ability to provide for itself, like with the parasite predator, think about this. Childhood hunger in America affects 14 million children. Notice something they say here: systemic inequalities. Now they're going to try to talk about like that means like racism and that means the color of your skin or your sexual preference. Well, systemic inequalities, you guys should really give that some thought. Systemically, we worship dogs over kids. Systemically, we put our dogs above ourselves. So the systemic inequality is this lack of human connection, this lack of give a crap about your kids. That systemic inequality, that's this right here. It's a lack of this picture right here. Look at these elephants. They're like, no, don't hurt our little baby elephant. And this predator's like, well, shit. Well, shit, what can I do? But if this was humans right here and that was a dog, systemically, the humans would just be like, oh, just, it's okay. It's not a big deal. And while childhood hunger is increasing, look at this. Look at these numbers right here. 19.6 billion pounds of dog food. We got hungry kids that can't even get like one meal a day. We're producing this much dog food. Wow. And this doesn't account for all the raw chicken and beef and hot dogs and homemade dog food that people are making now. And this also doesn't account for all the boutique dog foods that people order to their house, like the farmer's dog and all those other ones. Blue Ridge, which Blue Ridge was actually recalled, I think. But yeah, 19.6 billion pounds for these 90 million, I think it is, dogs that we have in our country. And yet we don't meet the needs of our little kids. Yep, it's time to take some advice from those dolphins and elephants and everyone else. And by everyone else, I mean the real animals. This this is not what dog culture promotes. Taking care of your young. So yeah, you guys need to start looking up some different animals than dogs. Stop talking about we can learn things from dogs, because what we're learning from dogs is to put ourselves second, our fellow humans second, and even our children second, which is no way to run a country, no way to run a family. See you guys later.